Good Wednesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversation Dirty News. Glad you all could be with us. We made it to the last hump day of the month of May. Because you have your news headlines coming up on this Wednesday, I have a message from my book, Word That Choose to Live By, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you're part of my conversation with best-selling author Manswell T. Peterson. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Dirty News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. In Mississippi news, Hinds County residents looking to pull the plug on newly proposed Soul City Solar Project, says WLBT Channel 3. Many of those in Hinds County are once again speaking out against a new solar panel project that could be coming to parts of Raymond and Bolton, says WLBT Channel 3. Just 4 days ago, 3 on Your Side reported that Apex Clean Energy is working to clear roughly 6,500 acres of land, which would become a solar panel farm. With the Hinds County Zoning and Planning Board meeting, Western Hinds County residents were looking to stop the project from moving any further. I'm concerned for my land value. I'm concerned for the safety of it, says Allison Lauderdale, a Raymond resident. Lauderdale says she put the word out about the town hall meeting. Despite many people electing to celebrate Memorial Day, nearly 100 people showed up outside of the Raymond courthouse to listen to Lauderdale. She says the purpose of the meeting was to get everyone on the same page and to get as many people as possible to show up at this week's meeting. This is nothing personal, she said. What they want to do on their own private land is up to them, and they have every right to do that. But what if it affects neighboring lands and the community? I think we have every right to be heard and to have questions answered for that as well, she said. The area currently in question happens to be surrounding Lauderdale's home, but she's not the only one pushing back on the project. In national news, storms battered Texas again, leaving more than 1 million customers without power, says the Associated Press. Strong storms with damaging winds and baseball-sized hail pummeled Texas on Tuesday, leaving more than 1 million businesses and homes without power as much of the U.S. recovered some severe weather, including tornadoes, that killed at least 25 people during the Memorial Day holiday weekend. Widespread outages were reported in North Texas, which includes Dallas and Fort Worth, where an oppressive early-season heat wave added to the misery. More than 300,000 customers in Dallas County alone lacked electricity on Tuesday as the outages extended into rural East Texas, according to PowerOutage.us. Voters in the state's runoff elections found some polling places without power. Roughly 100 voting sites in Dallas County were knocked offline. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins declared a disaster area and noted that some nursing homes were using generators. This ultimately will be a multi-day power outage situation, Jenkins said on Tuesday. More rough weather and heavy rains were forecast for the Dallas area. Heavy thunderstorms also were plowing toward Houston, where officials warned that winds as strong as 70 miles per hour could cause damage less than 2 weeks after hurricane-force winds knocked out power to more than 800,000 homes and businesses. In international news, U.S. condemns loss of life, but says no apology changes after civilian deaths in Israeli strikes, as the Associated Press. The White House on Tuesday condemned the loss of life of dozens of civilians as a result of an Israeli strike in Rafah, but said it is not planning any policy changes as a result of the Israeli actions. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby told reporters that Israel had not violated Biden's red line for withholding future offensive arms transfers because it has not, and it appears to the U.S. will not, launch a full-scale ground invasion into the city. Everything that we can tell tells us that they are not moving into a major ground operation in population centers in the city of Rafah, Kirby said. Kirby called the loss of life heartbreaking and horrific and said the U.S. was monitoring the results of an Israeli investigation into the strike, which suggested the civilian deaths were the result of a secondary explosion after a successful strike on 2 Hamas operatives. In business news, T-Mobile to buy almost all of U.S. Cellular in deal worth $4.4 billion with debt, says the Associated Press. T-Mobile is buying U.S. Cellular's wireless operations and certain spectrum assets in a deal valued at $4.4 billion and further consolidating the industry. T-Mobile will get more than 4 million new customers in control of U.S. Cellular's wireless operations and about 30% of spectrum assets across several spectrum bands. T-Mobile will also enter into a new master license agreement on more than 2,000 towers and extend the lease term for the approximately 600 towers where T-Mobile is already a tenant. And finally, in more business news, U.S. consumer confidence rises in May after 3 months of declines. Consumer confidence in the U.S. rose in May after 3 straight months of declines, though Americans are still anxious about inflation and interest rates. The Conference Board, a business research group, said Tuesday that its consumer confidence index rose in May to 102 from 97.5 in April. Analysts were expecting the index to decline again. The index measures both Americans' assessment of current economic conditions and their outlook for the next 6 months. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words That Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Wednesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words That Choose to Live By. Not everyone will win first place. Not everyone will get a pat on the back or see their name in lights, and that's okay. Being successful is not always about being recognized as the best. It's about bringing the best of yourself to everything you say and do in your life. So let's get to it. Have an amazing hump day. We are part of my conversation coming up with best-selling author Manswell T. Peterson in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Entertainment Spotlight. Best-selling author Manswell T. Peterson joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his extraordinary writing career. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Manswell, glad to have you back on with us.
Hey, Cyrus, thank you for having me, man.
Always a pleasure. I am excited about all the great things you're doing. I should also mention, for those who don't know, Manswell is also with me, the co-host of the show, The Author's Den, as well. We're able to spotlight authors. So I want to talk about the busy 2024, which is not really unusual for you, Manswell. You normally have a lot going on. But what has it been like for you to see the way the readers are responding to the different types of books you're releasing this year?
You know, it's been fun, and I was literally reading emails this morning from readers, and of course, everybody's always, when's the next one, when's the next one, when's the next one? That's why I do rapid release. That's why I go so hard in the paint for my readers, because, you know, they love stories, they love what comes, and they always want to know what happens next. And so I'm always trying to make sure I feed the readers, and you got to remember, since I'm in multiple genres, you know, I'm feeding readers across different spectrums, and it's fun to see how they're starting now to cross over and read different things that I've written. I think the most shocking part was I got an email this morning about my One Last Cry series, and they didn't even realize I was getting ready to upgrade the covers, because that series came out, Cyrus, 2012, and I think it ended in 2013. And so we're actually we got some new covers coming for that. So might tease the readers with that today on social media. But yeah, we're coming back, so it's fun.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'll be back with us on tomorrow with more news, a message from my book, Words That Choose to Live By, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.